What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the Beanball Podcast. This is going to be episode 48. What an opening day weekend. We're going to get about that and much, much more. Let's get it started. What's going on, everyone? Hope you had an awesome opening weekend, unless you're a Nationals or Mets fan.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that and much more. What's going on, bud?
Not much, man. Coaching Little League or, Shetland, which is like 3, 4, 5-year-olds is kicking my butt. It's like just a bunch of babysitting, like stand up, pay attention, turn around. You can't stand right next to the plate. He's hitting it. It's crazy, man.
I can only imagine.
It is funny, though, because you got the kids running the bases and like one kid just like goes from home and just starts running past like the pitcher's mound, not even close to first base. Yeah.
Oh, we used to play that.
Yeah, man.
It's like you
got to start somewhere. I guess.
do. But it's just interesting, kids, especially nowadays, like especially this past year being cooped up.
Oh, yeah.
All that energy and God.
Yeah, well, what's crazy is, all the energy, but I got like a little 3-year-old on the team just like flicking everybody off and cussing at him. I'm like, and trying to fight.
Parenting.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, here we go.
God, you're going to be a troublemaker when you get to school, buddy. Good luck.
Well, and it's funny, too. You can tell that these parents are from Norfolk because I got another lady telling her kids that they're going to beat their butt, more language than I'm saying, and that they're it's like it's just funny, man, because you go to public and you hear somebody talking about spanking their kids, like whoa, but she's like, I'm gonna you up.
That's how we were raised. It's not like that anymore. But
I know everybody's all touchy feely.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's up with you, man?
Yeah. It's second week of spring break.
Yeah. Say
no
more.
employees. I lost my other employee. His last day was Tuesday. So now I literally had 3 employees who pretty much all work like 2 days a week. Because one of them was technically still working front desk overnight shift, but she does taxes during the time of year.
Okay.
So since it got extended, she works tomorrow with me. I got to find out if she's staying there till whatever the new date is. I think it's May, I think, this year. But I know last year when they extended it to, July, she helped there till July. I know she's at a different place. So I was needing to go if I can start scheduling her more because it's kind of flexible, but it's coming back, got my first shot this week. Little sore like that next day in the arm, not much. I go back in 3 weeks, in and out in 30 minutes.
Okay. No, that's
not
great.
bad. So
all right,
they're moving line. So let's get into some baseball
news.
News.
Let's talk about opening weekend. There's a lot of baseball played. Like Alan said, unless you're a Mets or Nationals fan. I mean, they finally got a couple of games under their belt. But what's been going on?
Yeah, unfortunately, the first game that was postponed was Red Sox and Orioles because of weather.
Yep.
And then, I literally got home, got the notification from the Nationals and Mets because you hear the rumblings the day before about a possible COVID positive. I'm like, look, you better not cancel my game. Everyone was looking forward because DeGrom versus Scherzer, the lineup.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, it was the primetime game at ESPN. They didn't put anything on, I don't think. And it was just a disappointment. But, Blue Jays, Yankees, like, okay, I'll watch this first. And then I forgot there was another game on. Then, of course, it was going to be the Mets game. But it was an all-around good weekend. I highly enjoyed it. Seeing the first home run of the year getting hit in snow by Cabrera was very interesting, especially you couldn't tell if it went out or not. That was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, another thing I saw, during opening weekend was interesting was Matt Harvey finally got to take the mound, and he did pretty well. He did all right. He did.
Like,
it was
the
no decision,
Orioles
I think, but
swept the Red Sox. I'm like, okay, look, we knew the Red Sox was probably going to be bad, but I'm like, this is getting out of hand. Like,
yeah, so not only did the Orioles sweep them, I mean, they're top of the board, tied in first place with the Yankees, 3-2. It's early, I know, but they did this away.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they went to Fenway because I think they open tomorrow against Red Sox, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so that division's pretty good right now. The AL East, everybody's got 3 wins, except for the Rays. They got 2, but it's still early. Another teams that are pretty strong right now, the Twins, they showed up.
Yes.
Yeah, they showed up pretty well
Twins are coming together. Reds came out to a hot start.
Even the Astros are in a hot start with people throwing trash cans on the field. And
Astros, since we talked about it, if people were going to forget about it, but no. So far, so early, the first series, they got heavily booed.
We should get like a trash can counter.
So, and then I think they went to Anaheim, the Angels, and there was trash cans being banged on the outfield, and then someone had a blown up trash can thrown onto the field.
Yeah, that was amazing.
I was like,
man.
is that a blowout? I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, look, they're going to get this all year. Be prepared. That's all. But so far, they're taking it well.
They are. It's, Dusty Baker said some comments I didn't really look into too much that, it's disappointing. Yes, I bet it is disappointing for him because, he's not there and some of the players are not there. And it does get a little hard that some people are getting suspended that we're going to talk about, but flexing on players than more than what the cheating Astros got.
Yeah.
So they're going to hear this long time.
No, absolutely. And then you look at the National League. I mean, you got the Phillies. They're on top in the East, 5-1. They should be 4-2 because the Mets blew one, obviously, against them.
Yeah, today.
I'm thinking about today, but yes, they blew a couple of them. But the one with DeGrom started, it's like the old Mets are back. It's like no matter who you put on the team, the bullpen's going to lose it. We got to get that figured out. And then Familia, every time you put him, I've been saying this forever, he always has to give up a couple runs. It's like, how do you
when I woke
trust
up this
him?
morning because I went to bed early, and I was like, they scored 2 runs. Who was pitching? I was like,
of course, who was pitching?
Well, my thing was a lot of the Mets, and I think the Nationals as well, watching yesterday and a little today. If you think about it, Mets have not played in almost a week. DeGrom was a little shaky at first, and then he settled into it.
That's true.
So your veterans will take you're a little better with it. But like today with David Peterson, it's been probably over a week since he really pitched.
Yeah.
He got lit up early, settled in, and then had to pull him because his pitch count got up.
Stroman looked solid.
Stroman had a great game.
That was a good game.
So,
yeah, he looked great. I like it.
And I think the same thing, the bullpen, some of the guys come out shaky. Hopefully they'll get back in the groove. They have their home opener tomorrow. Nationals, of course, did their home opener. And then now they have a big flight. I think, if I remember correctly, they got to fly all the way to L.A. to do the Dodgers this weekend. So
yeah. Well, I mean, everybody else is pretty much doing what we thought they would. The Pirates suck. Dodgers are good. Padres are good. It's just it's kind of the standard right now. It is early. It's very early. I'm not taking nothing away from it, but there are some teams that are showing some promise, like the Reds, especially. All right. Well, let's get into some other news.
So we were hoping this was going to get done, and literally hours after we finished, the text message happened. I was literally getting ready to go to bed. I'm like, thank God I go to sleep now. Lindor and the Mets agreed to their deal.
Yeah, pretty good one, too.
10-year, $341 million will keep Lindor in Flushings till he's 38 years old. According to source, is the longest contract in Met history. Of course, 3 times lucrative than the previous largest deal was David Wright, 8 years, $138 million.
And I don't know how you feel about it, but as a Mets fan, it's just like we're not used to seeing big money spent like this.
Yeah.
So the last couple of games I saw him, I think DeGrom was pitching that night, and then when he got taken out, we were down. I think we gave up the lead, and Lindor was up. I was like, all right, buddy, earn your money. It's just because we paid him so much. I'm thinking every time he gets up, it's like, you got to do something. And he did. He did do something.
Yeah.
And then last night I said the same thing, and guess what? He came through clutch, and then Conforto came through after him.
He's making great plays.
It
shows why he's worth the money.
Great shortstop for sure.
Like today he faced Aaron Nola for the first time in his history. There's probably a lot of pitchers he's going to face for the first time. Got to figure him out. So, of course, he'll see Aaron Nola a couple more times, most likely this year. But it's like your first, you're figuring it out. You're having great at-bats. The $50 million deferred in his deal, so it's pretty much the same deal that Mets reported, the 10-year, roughly, $325 they're looking for. So it's a little under. But so literally this contract, if you think about it, is 20 years. 10 years the main deal. Then literally after the deal's up, the $5 million a year deferred is paid out every year.
Okay.
So literally, this is a 20-year deal that he's going to get. So he's going to get his $341 million over 20 years starting next year,
which is fine. I mean, that's a pretty good contract. It's not like, hopefully it's not like a Bobby Bonilla situation, but I think he's going to be great.
Yeah.
A good sign. So far he's producing. I'm happy.
I'm okay. Like I said, so you're talking about 20-something million at 38. Solid.
Yeah.
By then he'll be a DH. If he can't play the field, he still maybe a strong bat. Remember, this is one of the hardest hitting shortstops in history.
Exactly. And by the time he gets that age, you might have everyday players getting paid that kind of money too. So it's not like it's out of this world. But another thing I was happy about, I don't know if we were going to get into it, but McCann, man, is just having a catcher back there that can throw somebody out. It's just it feels good.
Yeah, it does.
It feels good to see that.
Only little thing with the Lindor contract, he has a 15 no trade clause from 2021 to 2025. And starting 2026 through the rest of the contract, a full no trade clause.
Okay, that's fine. Look, I think it's a pretty solid contract. I'm glad they got it done.
He was so smiling the press conference when they announced
good,
it. And said he wanted to scream when the deal they both agreed, but of course he's in a hotel room. He didn't want to.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck that. I've been doing laps around that hotel.
Yeah, man.
And then I do feel bad because we're about to go into the Nationals outbreak, but he was so bored. I could imagine. I was hoping maybe they'd go do something, like maybe go ahead and go to Philly. They were still in D.C. Like he put it, I think, on his Instagram. I'm about to go join these guys playing like football, soccer in a field next to their hotel because he was so bored. They did do like a simulated game, I think, on Saturday, I heard, but still to be cooped in a hotel room. And they got in Tuesday, and they didn't leave till Sunday to be stuck in that D.C. hotel room.
That's tough.
And you can't go to restaurants. You got to eat the catered at the restaurant, if not at the stadium.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That's how I said. It wouldn't surprise me that they were a little sluggish. But the Nationals outbreak.
Yeah, man. What else can you say? The Nationals had to put 10 players on the injured reserve, basically.
So, like we said, it was like one and then possibly tracing. Like, okay, we've had a couple COVID during spring training, nothing of it. Then they postponed the game. Then in here, it's more and more. Like, okay, so who is it? And then finally, they postponed Monday's game with the Braves. I'm like, oh my God, is it this bad? Well, they had to release the roster, and man, they were down some players.
They were down some big players. Like, if you look at the pitchers, Patrick Corbin, John Lester, Yan Gomes, Alex Avila, and then you got your guys on the field, Josh Bell, Harrison, Schwarber. You can't expect them to play.
Some of your key guys that you brought in to make this team better, and it's like...
Right, you can't expect them to play like that.
It's like, man, like, So we don't know who was, but at first I was wondering, like, is it bullpen? Because they're talking about, it was 1 + 5 close contacts. I'm like, either it's bullpen or that's actual players. And then when it came out, there was actually a little bit of both. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a little bit of everything.
I wonder what happened.
I really do. Like, who was the first and who's the down? So, at least 4 to 5 of these were probably positive, and the other 5 were close contacts. So, and they filled it today. I think their first doubleheader would probably have been Patrick Corbin or Strasburg was the second game. They had like Eddie, Freddie, and got lit up early. So that's a big, you're missing that, and then miss also John Lester. So you're missing 2 starters.
Yep.
So luckily, I think, like I said, I think they have a day off today, and they'll try to reset and figure out who can pitch. If one of these guys are not they get their negative test, they're just a close contact. Maybe they'll start Friday against the Dodgers, but that's kind of rough to start seeing. And then you think about, like, we're like, okay, we're past this. We're hoping there's no COVID outbreak, and then we get this. It's just very disappointing.
Yeah, man, that shit is crazy. And now you got to figure out what are they going to do moving forward with this situation, because you figured we had a whole season where you played with COVID, and now you had this big outbreak before the season opener. What are you supposed to do in this situation?
Yeah, I think, like, for example, I know the Mets had a video they watched the other day about getting vaccine, because apparently when they arrive in New York either tonight or tomorrow morning, they can get the first shot of the vaccine if they want to. Apparently there's been tossed number. I think I already heard that Cardinals are like 85%, so they're about to hit that protocol where they can actually go back in the restaurants once they get all fully vaccinated. It's just tough, man. It's just, you thought you were doing good. We had a great spring, and man, it's like, what do you do now? Like, a simple opening weekend, this is an outbreak.
Yep.
And it sucks because, they already announced the reschedule of the games. The Mets is 2 doubleheaders, and then one's a mutual day off, but you're talking about 7 innings and a mutual day off, I think. They still got days. So you're talking about you just turn 3 games into 5 games, 7-inning games.
Yeah, this sucks.
And, of course, all going to be in D.C., so it's just disappointing.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. And, like, for example, like, today, Nationals, their second game, Strasburg was his old self finally after a year being unhealthy, and went 6 innings, 1 hit allowed.
Yeah.
7th inning, I think they put someone in. Atlanta got 2 runs, ended up winning the game 2-0.
Yep. Well, you gotta play both sides of the game. You gotta have strong pitching, and you gotta have people who can hit, follow up, and DeGrom knows a lot about that too. Yeah. All right.
Well, this next one, man, the Reds and Cardinals scruffle from this past weekend. I'm like, what? We're opening weekend. How are we already scuffling? Like,
exactly.
So, Nick Castellanos got hit, and like I said, something got around. Wild pitch, ran home, scored, and flexed on the pitcher who hit him. And, well, Cardinals didn't like that.
Well, yeah, I mean, so apparently, he slid into home. He was safe. And as soon as he was safe, he was just like, let's go, basically yelling.
Like, flex moved. And
Molina, he's the guy. He's got to do it for his pitcher. He's got to have his pitcher back. So he taps someone on the back like, hey, man, I don't like what you did there. And you know what happens from there. So
pitch is clear, pushing. And, of course, Nick came out and was like, I'd never, I don't care if Yachty would have punched me. I'd still ask for a jersey.
Right, but he also said that, in the raw emotion of the game, he wasn't trying to disrespect Woodford at all. It just happened that the emotion got to him. And I think even the Reds manager was like, he's hopeful that when baseball's played with emotion, the players will be protected from dangerous and unnecessary retaliation. He was upset about the suspension because he was like, Nick didn't initiate any physical contact.
Yeah.
So what are we here for?
Yeah, so of course he appealed it, and I hope he wins this one and then of course I saw a meme, which this makes perfect sense. Like we're talking about the Astros. Joe Kelly last year got suspended 8 games for
making
throwing
a frowny
and then
face.
the frowny face.
Yeah,
Nick gets 2 games for flexing, and yet Astros didn't get nothing.
Exactly,
and got caught cheating.
That's what I'm saying. Cheating to win a World Series, and they're getting no suspension. So yeah, if you have to ask me, I'm not okay with this suspension.
I'm not,
and
either.
I hope that they overturn it while he's playing while he's trying to appeal it.
Yeah,
I hope he gets it.
Like you want emotions, you want the sport to grow. This is kind of stuff you need,
right? If with no emotions, what are we gonna do? It's gonna be boring, like people say. Like when Bryce Harper throws his hat or does something like with emotional, people like that, but. If you're not going to let them show emotion at all, you're like, oh, we'll just, you're safe. Okay, go back there. No, man, that's not going to work. Not in this day and age. You got to let the kids play.
Yes. Okay. He didn't mean to get a bench clearing, scuffle.
I'm sure he didn't mean that.
But come on, you got to look at it. It was misunderstood. What was said, raw emotions, close game.
But you know what? I wonder if the way that they try to suppress the players from showing any kind of emotion led up to this. If this is a normal thing in the league, then this wouldn't even be looked at twice.
No.
They would have let it go. They're like, okay, yeah, he did his thing. He's hype. Cool. But since we don't allow that, they're thinking, oh, this is disrespectful.
Yeah. I think it's just ridiculous. MLB, get your head game.
Yeah.
This is just stupid. All right, next.
Is
the Ohtani hype real? After one start and, of course, couple at-bats.
I want it to be real. I hope it's real. The stats that he put up over this first game was pretty insane. He threw a pitch, 102 miles an hour almost?
It was 100.6, so they round to 101. It was the fastest year until I think DeGrom pitched the other night. He got to 102.
And then he hit a freaking rocket he hit a bomb, man, and he was batting second. He was batting
moonshot.
Yeah.
First pitch he saw, I was like, and you hear the crack. It was high.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, wow.
Look, you can tell when you hear the crack. Because the other night, I think we were in a situation where we could have come back. I think Pete was up there. He hit the ball, warning track power. But I knew right when you heard the ball come off the bat, I was like, it's not gone. It's not gone.
Especially, I think the other night when the wind was coming in from left field in Philly, which dies out there.
Plus, Ohtani freaking hit that ball 451 feet, man, deep center. It's not like it was like a little bloop to right field or something in Yankee Stadium. I mean, he hit a bomb. I hope it's real. I just need him to stay healthy. But he absolutely hit a moonshot there, man. He was feeling it.
He has our 2 home runs this year.
Look, if he's healthy.
Unfortunately, his RBI is not good because no one else is on the field. But then, what was it? So he must be completely healthy because everyone's that little injury during the game, or they took him out for a precaution. I think he batted a day later, and that was the one where Trout hit the home run and Ohtani waved the ball.
That was funny.
I was like, wow, he's having fun this year.
Look, Trout hit an absolute no doubter, and Ohtani just turns around and is waving at it bye bye. Oh my gosh, man, that was something. That was something.
That was
crazy.
I think he's either supposed to pitch Saturday or Sunday. They haven't announced it yet, so that's because he's only supposed to pitch once a week. They're giving rest since he is batting. So
all right, well,
I think what I'm hearing is every Sunday might be the thing. So if it is, he's at Toronto.
So if he's not pitching, is he in the lineup every day though? Still
every couple, I think every couple days. Mostly.
I'm just saying, man, if he can pull this off as this year, if this year he puts it together and throws really good, and hits really well, man, he's gonna win some kind of award or something. Because I want to believe it. I'm gonna say the hype's real. As long as he's healthy, I'm
if
thinking
he
it's
stays
good.
healthy, yeah, I do like I said,
And
he's
that's
my
what
dark horse MVP if he can stay healthy.
This might be what the Angels need. If Ohtani can show some life,
This
everybody else
is
might
what
rally
they
around.
hoped when they signed him,
Right.
Which the hype was real early on, and the injuries started.
But that's what they need. They need to kind of feel on their team like a Padres or something, like where everybody in lineup's just like feeling the energy and doing it.
Yeah, definitely. So, all right. So next,
All right. Yeah, next we're going to talk about the All-Star game.
yeah,
And if you haven't heard, if you've been living under a rock, it has been moved. It is no longer going to be in Atlanta.
yeah. So last Friday, MLB announced that the All-Star game that was going to be hosted in Atlanta has been pulled back, removed from the new because the Georgia law that has civil rights groups concerned about the political restricting of voting, custody of people of color. Of course, with the All-Star game is the MLB draft and all the other facilities. In a statement, Rob Manfred said, finalize the new hosting details and events will be announced shortly. Of course, Dodgers will keep next year. They didn't want to fast track it. But over the last week, we've engaged through conversations with clubs, former current players of the Players Association, the Players Alliance, along with others listening to their views. Manfred said in the statement, we decided the best way to demonstrate our values of the sport is relocating this year's All-Star game and MLB draft.
Yeah, so my thing is, if you look at the forums, there's people on both sides of this, and everybody that I see this against they're hitting why is the MLB in politics? Why are they doing this? They have no business being in here. And all this, people understand. They moved the game to Colorado, I believe.
They officially announced it.
So, you guys let me know. What do you think? Do you think the MLB was right in this or not?
If we remember, God, what was it? I would think it was about 3 years ago. NBA pulled the All-Star game out of Charlotte because of the bathroom bathroom ban.
And I think NCAA games are pulled from there too.
They did. Yep, they had tournament stuff they pulled. They moved. So this is not the first time this happened in recent. If we all remember, this is just the first time baseball is stepping up. And unfortunately, this would have been a good tribute with Hank Aaron. They're still going to honor him, but being a Brave, it probably would have been even more special.
Yep.
But who knows how he would feel about the situation and stuff. But, of course, Atlanta came out and said they're deeply disappointed. It was neither our decision or a recommendation that we decided that the fans would not be able to see this event in the city. So, but it's not just baseball. You're talking about millions and millions of dollars for local businesses, hotels, and much, much more. So, like I just said, MLB did announce that the All-Star game will be heading to Colorado Rockies. And, of course, will be the draft for this year's Midsummer Classic. Will be the first time hosting the event since 1998. The draft, of course, is part of the new facilities. It is tentative schedule for Sunday, July 11th. So, usually the Sunday used to be the Futures game and then the Celebrity game. I don't know if they're still doing that. I'm really looking to the details, but then the draft will be on that Sunday, probably that night or something, because I think the game used to be during the day. But pretty much it came down to Rockies had everything worked out because they were trying to gear up to host the city here in the future, the All-Star game. So they had plans, what they would host, hotels. It's just now be at a much rapid pace, and it will be, sat down, talked to them, I guess, before, awarding this about future, but since they've had good conversations with the mayor, the governor, it kind of lined up for them to get this year. I thought maybe Milwaukee would be good since, technically Hank Aaron did play for the Milwaukee Braves.
Okay.
And then went back to Milwaukee after he, before he finished his career, if they want to try tribute. And then, of course, the other one you think about is got to be like New York and stuff. I was thinking like somewhere it would easily handle a big event like that fast. But Rockies, I guess you got to do it, give it to them.
Yeah.
But I was a little disappointed. Like you just, this team just gave away their star for next to nothing, and now you're awarding them an All-Star game. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's I don't know, man.
And then I forgot to look up. It's like what are they allowed right now for percentage-wise?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either. Like who knows where we'll be in July? What they they might be up to 50%. Who knows? And it's going to be weird regardless because, the fan interaction, there's going to be no autograph sessions like there usually is at All-Star games. Who knows if Celebrity Game will actually be happening. I actually don't think a futures game would probably happen because you think why would you bring the prospects?
Exactly.
So really, you're talking about just fan events, the draft, and then home run derby, and probably the All-Star game is probably what we think.
And if we get that, that's fine. I'm okay with that because I understand what's going on right now. And
it's kind of cool when you give the futures game to see people that prospect that could be something, give them their first big ballpark, and see what they can do. But it is what it is. Still a weird year. So let's hope the Rockies and Colorado host a great All-Star game, and we'll see how many people they get to hold. So on that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, and we're back.
All right, guys. So let's talk about, speaking of fans in the stands, Globe Life Field was packed on their opening day.
I didn't know that their opening day was Monday. I thought it was like later in the week. Like most time people, you opened on Thursday.
Yeah.
The next Thursday is your opening day. But when I saw Monday, I clicked on the game. I was like, oh, there is a game on. And clicked on. I was like, oh, they're in Texas.
That's
this
right.
is the game.
That's right.
It was so weird seeing the first event that was packed in like a year.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the stats after things settle down. See how many.
Yeah, in a week or two. Yeah, that's very interesting. But a near capacity crowd of 38,238 was announced, so not completely sold out, but very, very close. Their brand new stadium that majority of fans saw. They did host the World Series, so I can't remember. I think they were allowed 10,000 fans at World Series. I can't remember. It wasn't much.
Yeah, it wasn't much at all. I don't remember exact numbers.
But Texas Rangers took on the Blue Jays. They had to wear a mask, but the stadium does hold 40,158 games. But health protocols, stadium provided difficult to enforce. Thousands of fans poured into the stadium throughout the afternoon. But man, it was interesting, especially when they had the picture of the players on the field showing the fans. Like the stands was packed.
Yeah. It's
people with masks. Of course, you can eating and drinking. You can take the mask off, but
I understand the concern, but it is a good sign that the future. Like, hey, we got.
I wanted to see the concessions.
Oh yeah.
How was that? Because you don't want people to be closed, and it's already packed before.
That's probably terrible.
Masks. You don't want separation. But God, I was like, I hope they had some form of thing figured out.
It'd be cool is if I don't know if they had the manpower to even do this, but if you could order from your seat.
Yeah, like certain stadiums. I remember when we went to Nationals, you could order the server came down and you order the food and stuff. But
I'm just saying that would be nice.
You're talking about employees. Good God, you had food runners from hell.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it needs a lot of manpower.
Yeah,
but it's one solution at this moment.
Yeah, like I think I got
like a Uber Stadium
email. Mets went completely cashless.
Okay.
So. And then also got an email that they have their tickets on sale for the rest of the month, which most, I think, people are doing that is they're going month-by-month basis until they know, okay, next month we're allowed to have 30%. Okay, that means we get to have 15,000. So right now Mets are allowed just shy of 9,000. There'll be 9,000 there on Thursday, but of course, everyone has a little different. I know Mets, it is either you got to have a negative test or be fully vaccinated to go to the stadium to watch the game.
Yeah.
I think Phillies, I heard a couple people say it was just masking and checking temperature. So everyone's a little bit different. But so you got to make sure then like I said, cashless, you can order. Some people I've heard they're ordering on the apps now. It's just different times. I think they're speeding a lot of stuff up.
Yeah, but I'm wondering once this all settles, is this still going to be the new norm? Like, are they going to be like, oh, well, that was successful. Why don't we just have ordering apps for everything and stuff like that? I don't know. We'll see.
It could be something that is just pushed it further sooner
than it was. Exactly.
So I think there's no paper tickets. So I saw some people getting I think a Mets fan posted what he got in the mail for his season tickets. Mm-hmm. It was more of a plaque of a ticket, a little QR code to watch a hype video, a little note, and then there was something else. Oh, a portable charger since there's no.
Yeah, I feel like the way technology is going and everybody's lazy, so nobody wants to get out of their seat, which is fine because you want to watch the game. So you can get the food ordered to you. The technology part, like our season tickets now could be like an NFT or some bull crap. You know what I'm saying? Everything it's just crazy. It's crazy how the world's changing like that. Everything's going paperless, and
Yeah,
we'll see.
We all thought it was going to come eventually. So, is it time to panic if you're Braves or Oakland fans? The World Series favorite, got swept on opening weekend at the Phillies, then lost their opening game to the Nationals on an opening day walk-off hit from MVP favorite Soto.
Mm-hmm.
I sent Alan a meme before the game today that, Braves had not won a game since being up 3-1 in the NLCS against the Dodgers.
Yeah, that's tough. I don't think it's time to panic for the Braves. I think they're in a pretty good situation. It's still early, and we got a lot of games to play. They're definitely going to find their groove, and I do expect them to compete pretty solid. I don't think there's anything wrong with the Braves. It's just, there's a shaky start.
Yes.
And we've seen this before, teams with shaky starts like this. But the team I am worried about, though, is the A's. I mean, they're a little bit, struggling.
Yeah, Braves, they took both wins today, so they won the series. So, yes, they are, 2-4 now.
2-4, something like that.
But the pitching, Max Fried, there's a little, he got a couple of innings when he played the Phillies, but today he did leave after 2 innings and gave up 5 runs. Morton, 6 innings pitches, his first start, he gave up 3 runs. But then the bats were cold through Philly. Unfortunately, the relief pitching in Philly was perfect for them in that series. But, the bats did warm up. Acuna hit 2 home runs in the first game. I forgot who scored the 2 runs in the second game. So, yeah, like you said, Braves, it's still early. They'll figure it out. Well, hopefully Max Fried's okay.
Did you see the meme that was going around? Not a meme. It was like a picture of like Max Fried and Jack Flaherty and somebody else all played high school together.
Oh, yeah, Lucas Giolito.
Holy crap.
It was Lucas Giolito, Max Fried, and then, Jack Flaherty. All 3 opening day starters for a high school team.
They must have had. Holy
That's
crap.
the same high school that our number 1 pick this past year for the Mets, Pete Armstrong, came from.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah, but imagine. We got to play a 3-game series, against these guys,
That's what I'm saying. I was like, this is nuts. But anyways, what do you think about the A's?
So the A's, man, 0-6.
Well, they're 1-6 now.
Oh, then it did win the afternoon game today?
Yeah.
Okay. But still, congratulations. It's like, where are they going wrong in that pull-up stats? So the team ERA for the pitching going into that game, I didn't do that game that played today, they had an 8-point ERA as a team.
Yeah.
The starting pitchers through the 0-6 slide to start the season gave up 28 earned runs.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at the finals, like, what did they start with, the Astros?
Yes.
They let the Astros score 8 runs one game, 9 runs the next game, 9 runs a game after that, 9 runs a game after that, then 10. Like, you cannot give up this many runs.
Yeah, I was like, who's giving up the bullpen? And I clicked on the individual. I'm like, oh no, these are all starters.
That's not good. When you're giving up average of 8 runs a game, essentially, you're not going to win.
Yeah,
you're not going to win.
We knew we were, very questioned about their starting pitching. They had some young guys.
Yeah.
They did call up AJ Puck, but I think he's relieved once. He hasn't started yet. And then you look at your 2 main stars, Chapman and Olsen. Chapman's batting before the game today a 105, and Olsen's batting 235. If your 2 stars are not hitting, your starters are not getting you through 3-4 innings, giving up 8 runs. It's just, you can't do nothing about that except for lose.
Yeah.
And I don't know if they have the pitching to rebound and figure this out, because I think they have the Astros this weekend again. I think because Houston opened up finally in their stadium.
Okay.
And if they get swept by them, which wouldn't surprise me, it's going to be a long year, Oakland. I am so sorry.
Yeah.
Look like your year was last year. Unfortunately, you lost Chapman to injury. But, man, it could be a long, long season for y'all.
Mm.
And I was like, if Chapman and Olsen was like, a year left the deal, it's time to trade them. But they still have like 3 years left in their deals.
Yeah.
From their rookie eligibility. So they're not going nowhere anytime soon.
All right. So with that being said, let's go right into the games that we are excited about this week.
Well, we already talked about this because, something happened. But
we had technical difficulties, if you don't know.
Yeah. But 2 series that I'm excited for is Yankees and Rays.
Okay.
Great division matchup. And then another division matchup I'm excited for is Brewers and Cardinals. NL Central, these 2 could come up to the wire. Who's wins the division? A lot of favorites in that. And then Yankees and Rays. Of course, Yankees are the favorite. Rays are defending champs. We can see what the pitching can do with that series. I just like the series altogether.
Okay, and then like I was saying, well, you guys haven't heard it yet, but the two games series that I'm excited about coming up is the Phillies and the Braves.
Yeah.
Because like I said, right now the Phillies are on top. They're playing really well, and the Braves we expect to be on top.
Yeah.
So it's one of those like
maybe they fixed their bats. They got swept by the Phillies. Now they're going home, and they're ready to defend. Their home and try to get back into being the division leaders.
And as a Mets fan, I can't figure out which team I want to lose more. Probably the Braves right now. I just still want to see them lose. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the other series that I'm very interested in is the Angels and Blue Jays.
Yes.
That wants to be good because we expect the Blue Jays to be pretty solid.
Yep.
And the Angels are, one of those teams, one of those dark horse teams that are playing really well right now.
And most likely one of those games this weekend against the Blue Jays will be Ohtani start. See if he can put together again another start.
And they're going to be playing
in Florida.
In Florida, yes. This would be awesome. East
Spring
Coast
training
time.
facility.
Yeah.
So
that
the opportunity to watch Mike Trout and Ohtani on East Coast time, not sleeping, staying up to 10 o'clock.
I know. Tough.
It's rough here on the East Coast.
And to see them play a really good opponent too. So
yeah,
those are two I'm excited about.
Very much so. So we talked about Atlanta was the patch job they did on the jerseys.
Terrible.
Was straight terrible. Well, speaking of jerseys, we're going to talk about the Red Sox new City Connect uniforms.
Yeah, what's the story behind the
So I guess this is something that Nike and MLB is going to start doing. There's a couple of teams throughout this year that's doing a certain spin on the jerseys. Red Sox is happening to be the first one. So if you haven't seen it, we'll post it. If you're here on YouTube, we'll post the video, the picture of the jersey. The Boston Red Sox revealed the yellow and sky blue City Connect uniforms to honor Patriots Day and the Boston Marathon. And then, it's different, the departure of the team's iconic standard jerseys. There will be no red coloration in the uniform. It doesn't even say Red Sox. It just says Boston across the chest and a stencil with blue letters to pay tribute to the finish of the marathon on the Boylston Street. The shirts are bright yellow, and on the left of the sleeve there'll be a patch that mimics the marathon bib with the number 617, the area code for Boston and Fenway, and then of course their caps are the iconic B, but they're going to be in sky blue.
Yeah, and no names on the back of the jersey either, just numbers.
Yeah.
Looking at the jersey, it looks kind of basic at first, but then I see somebody actually wearing the jersey. I kind of like it. I like the stitch work on it. Yeah,
it's weird because you think Red Sox, you think red.
Exactly. You
white,
don't think baby blue,
gray, not like a yellow. It's interesting.
It's interesting. Yes, that's what I can say about it.
If this is what we're going to see, I think if I remember correctly, I think Dodgers is one of them. I really should pull up the list
but I think it's cool because it's got the like you said, it's tying into the Boston Marathon, and the colors at the Boston Marathon are yellow and blue, so it makes sense there. But it has some meaning behind it, so I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. So let's see. And then eventually, with this deal, they want eventually where every team has a City Connect jersey where they'll play for a series once a year, kind of like NBA does with their alternate jerseys, where Lakers did the Kobe jersey for a couple games, and then Miami Heat has that Miami Vice jersey. So something like that. I think that's what they're exploring too.
I like those Miami jerseys, man.
Yeah, it's a little different. This article does not have the rest of teams. Disappointing. Because I remember it was a good 6 or 7 teams that are doing it this year, if I remember correctly. Let's see if this has it. Let's just show in the Boston. Okay, yeah. There's 7 clubs going to be this year. The Diamondbacks, Red Sox, Cubs, White Sox, Dodgers, Miami Marlins, and the Giants are going to be this year's collaborations.
Okay.
And all be for one weekend series or one game or something like that. And Boston just happens to be the first one since, it is this month is the marathon weekend. So,
all right, cool.
So, yeah. So, it'd be interesting. It's just different. Everyone's, something you're not used to. You're a little suspect at first. And you start, let's say like songs, you start slowly liking it. You look jersey at first, like, what the hell is this on my thing? You do a double take, read into it. Now, once you see it, the picture with some of the jerseys with people on, with the players on, I'm like, okay, Then when we see them on the field, that's what's going to hit and see how they react and see how they looked.
Absolutely.
Well, next we're going to go to our players of the week.
All right.
So in the AL, who do you have, Alan?
Well, in the AL, I got somebody who's freaking killing it, in my opinion. He's batting .381. He's got 3 home runs and 14 RBIs. Nate Lau of the Texas Rangers, first baseman.
Yes, he is having a great season, and unfortunately for the terrible team that he's on.
I agreed.
But, yeah, as a solid.
14 ribbies in the start? That's nuts.
Yeah, that's very solid. For me, it is the...
Oh, and not to mention he's from Norfolk, Virginia. That doesn't have anything to do with it, but hey.
So, my pick is the Red Sox DH, J.D. Martinez. He has 24 at-bats, 11 hits, 2 home runs, 11 RBIs, and is batting .458 to start the season.
Okay. Hey,
unfortunately, they got swept by the Orioles to start the year, but he was having a semi-decent series, and then he's helped the club get their wins this series they're currently in now against, I think, the Rays. Can't complain, it's early on, like I said, it's not like it's a full week. Next week when we do our players of the week, we'll have a full week of stats, almost a week.
Yeah.
Depending on what the week and stuff. So,
all right.
This is the National League.
Yeah, National League. Who do you got?
I have the Reds rookie third baseman, Jonathan India.
Cool.
He has 21 at-bats, 10 hits, 10 RBIs. He's batting .476. Fortunately, he has no home runs yet, but when you decide to put one of your top prospects opening day and he's contributing and the Reds are in the division lead right now, you can't ask for more than that.
No, you really can't. My National League player is also on the Reds. And this guy is a player of the week, not only from his stat line, but he also puts on a show. And I am entertained. Nick Castellanos from the Reds.
He's having a solid
batting
week.
.435. He's got 4 home runs, which is tied for second, 7 RBIs, and he's first leading in OPS with a 1.61.
Yeah.
He's got a hit in every single game, and he's controversial. Look, if that's not what a player of the week is, I like somebody who sticks out. I don't know what is, man.
Yeah, both of them were on top of my list, and that's why the Reds are doing what they are.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
getting solid pitching, and these two and the rest of the team is finally clicking. Now, what we talked about last week, the Reds, when we were talking about our prediction and stuff, is can they stay hot? Because last year they were cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. If they can stay solid, they could be a solid team. They can compete with the Brewers and the Cardinals for this division. So, it is a long season. We're about, 6 games into 162.
Exactly, long season.
So we still have 150 more games to go. Well, hopefully you can keep it up.
This is a marathon.
Yeah, man. All right, so this is almost it. Let's see some final thoughts. And, it's good for baseball to be back. It's interesting watching Texas, the stadiums full. They're slowly getting more, It's good for something to come at normal, A lot of basketball teams do have some small fans. I know Lakers, they got the okay to start letting fans back. NFL plan is to have 100% come their stadiums come September.
Yeah.
Even though they just extended to 17 games. It's interesting to slowly getting back to normal. The vaccines are getting rolled out, no matter if you do or not. It's to help, the normal life that we've been missing.
That's right. People don't like being cooped up, man.
Yeah.
and we can see it from all the stuff happening outside of, the baseball world.
Yeah. It's insane, it's built up and aggressions between children, adults.
It's crazy, man.
It's just, this time really tested relationships. If you were in a young relationship and you got quarantined together, man, this proved if y'all gonna be together or not. And it's just time, certain stuff. It was weird for my wife today to go somewhere without me. She went to the zoo today.
Okay.
She met a friend there, but she's like, "This is weird. It's been over a year.
I know, been cooped up.
And, especially since Zoe's been here, it's she's 6 months now. It's weird. Time's flying. And it's just yeah. I was like, well, this is normal. I'm back to almost full time this week. I don't know if it's gonna stay like that. It's spring break. It's a little taste of summer, but this is kind of normal. Slowly getting back there. course, there's a lot of people predicting there's another peak. I hope it don't happen.
Yep.
I hope that everything people are doing, they listen. I know they're cooped up and they're exhausting. I've seen pictures at like Disney World and Universal being packed.
Oh yeah,
hit capacity early. I'm like, guys, come, like, let's think about it. I understand spring break, so in a couple weeks, hopefully there's not a spike that people traveled. Let's just get back to regular life, and baseball, it's one step there.
Yep.
You know, we're about a month away from baseball, hopefully here in Norfolk. It's like, I think, the middle of May, because we're on the road the first start for AAA. But so it's like, well, I will have no issues. My biggest thing is trying to get a ticket.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about 30%. That's roughly, I think, what's right now in Virginia. You're talking 4,000 or 5,000.
Right. So, which in a regular season, it wouldn't be terrible to get a ticket because there might be days where there's not that many people there. But now that everybody's been cooped up and his tickets are limited, I guarantee they're going to be sold out.
I think my best bet is probably been going to a day game.
Absolutely.
I feel like until kids get out, then that's a whole different animal. But exactly. You know, with kids going back to school at least 2 days a week or whatever they are, May's gonna be a struggle. I feel like I think it's gonna be my best bet, and then not. I'll try I will at least go to 2 games this year.
That'd be cool. At least.
At least. I wanted to see some things, test my new camera out.
Oh yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Well, I think that's all we got for this week.
Yep, that's it.
So hopefully there's some good games we can talk about next week. Some more information. See if the Braves rebound after winning 2 straight now from a doubleheader.
I think they will.
See how they do against the Phillies. Hopefully Oakland has figured out. We'll much more. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.